February, Greg. You know what that means? Maybe you don't.
I
But
do.
really, it's...
Listen, it's February. This is the show after my birthday.
And
I don't see no present with a bow wrapped on it here.
it's...
I know. You spent all your money at Epcot, didn't you?
No, I shipped it to you from Disney. You didn't get it?
Oh. Maybe you sent it to the wrong address.
Yeah, maybe I sent it to the address, your former address. Maybe.
No, it's February. And, a good thing for us auto racing enthusiasts, maybe a bad thing for some of the snowmobile guys and stuff like that is supposedly the groundhog didn't see a shadow. Or did, or what, I don't know. Yeah. It's supposed to be early spring anyway. Spring, I don't follow the
It don't matter what's going on around here in southern Maine, northern New Hampshire, northern Maine. Daytona, they don't get snow.
Right.
And Daytona's just around the corner.
Yeah.
And, the guys are fired up. The teams, they've tested. They've brought their, they know what they think they got as their best pieces. And
are you doing mainly Daytona party or something like that?
No.
You talked about
I talked about it down here at the shop.
Yeah, you talked about it.
I don't know. It's still 3 weeks away. I don't know. It's just tough because that also falls on the same week as racing.
Here's what I say about the Daytona parties. I'm not a big fan of the Daytona parties because I'm that guy who likes to actually listen to the commentary and hear what's going on and hear the in-car radio chatter and stuff. When you got a Daytona party, it's so loud you can't hear nothing.
But I tell you, we are going to have some type of party. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe it can be, I don't know, maybe I'll have a party we'll do like a pool party or something, not in a swimming pool. But we got to go to Chicago Dogs and have a party.
I've never been there.
You've never been to Chicago Dogs? Well, I frequently visit the place, and they're hot dogs, basically. I mean, they have a few other things. And
I can't say what I wanted to say right there.
What, it shows? No. But we have a great time, and I was in there this past week having lunch with Chuck Sanborn and Spanky and Colette. And, I mean, the four of us weren't sitting in a booth. And
I saw Charlie Sanborn. He looked like he had like 3 wieners in his face.
Oh, that was, I don't know, he wasn't at Chicago Dogs, so I don't know where he was. Chippendales convention.
Maybe it was an old picture. It was on...
Yeah, it must have been an old one. They have this thing called Dogzilla, and I got a picture here to show you. It's like a foot-long hot dog, and it's like round as, looks like a tube. And Colette eats 2 of them. He eats 2 of them. One week he had when he was on tour walking around the place. People were looking at him like he was disgusting. We had to make him sit down. He looked like he was on tour. So the guy came over yesterday because Colette had to sit in the middle, and he said, you guys want to go in the back room? And I told him I'm going to plan some type of party, and we're going to show up some night and do something and go in the back room. So maybe I'll put my thoughts on that this week, and maybe we'll do something with a NASCAR pool or something, and for the season, and we'll have it at the draw, everything. We'll do it right from Chicago Dogs and come in and eat some hot dogs. It's good. It's good. But last year we did the 2 pools, and they kind of got away from us. And I'd like to do something simple this year.
Yeah, I still on mine. I can go and look and.
I'd like to do something simple this year that we do through the show, where maybe you have to email in each week, when we announce each week, and where it's done by us. I just don't know what to do and how to
something
do it.
We'll think about.
Yeah, we don't have much time to think about it. I mean, it's coming, and a lot of shuffling. I mean, I know we don't focus a lot on that level,
right?
But in my opinion, the biggest news has got to be Matt Kenseth going from Roush to Gibbs.
And the second biggest news is the fact that they brought in the Gen 6 car, and it's got its own little quirks, and it kind of reminds everybody of, like, I don't know, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of back before the Lumina bodies and
yeah, when they had the Monte Carlos.
It reminds me of like the Monte Carlos and stuff, where they look like the street cars, and I can't remember what I heard it on, but it was like at Daytona when testing. The bumpers on them don't line up like the other car did a year ago, and now when they're trying to push guys, everybody's hero Dale Jr. turns somebody in the middle of the pack and tested and wrecks
half the
12
field.
cars.
Yeah, and they all go home because they
Right.
don't bring
Right.
fleets and fleets and fleets. So what you're telling me is Daytona's going to be a mess this year.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So, but it's still exciting. The season's
Yeah, it's the
kick
first
off,
race of
you
the
know.
year.
You know,
But Daytona, the thing about Daytona that is it's fun. And, you know, it's the biggest race, but it's the first race of the year, so like kicks off the season. But I mean, like you were in Florida, so you probably didn't even know. But I was sitting on my couch watching. I probably watched 8 hours of the 24 hours of Daytona.
yeah, but no, I knew that was going on. But then, you know, what leads up to Daytona, and obviously they have their speed weeks, and they have their Clash, and they have their 150 qualifiers, and the time trial day, and the ACA race, and the Busch, and the trucks, and all that. But there's so much short track racing. The UNOH Battle of the Beach, between the mods and the
the East cars, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's East cars.
I think they have 3 divisions.
It's like a pro stock opportunity.
Yeah, they have something. 3. I heard, and I don't know how true it is. They have 3 divisions. They have the mods. They have like a NASCAR style late model, which is kind of like a pro stock, but not. And then they have like a East style car.
So you got that going on, and
that's the first time
over at New Smyrna.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got New Smyrna, which
I was hoping you got like some special deal on plane tickets, you know, in your travels.
I ain't convinced that I ain't going back, but.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I was hoping you were gonna come back and like, hey, Greg, you know what I got you for your birthday? We got a plane ticket to New Smyrna.
Yeah,
because I've never been to Speed Weeks at New Smyrna.
If I didn't have the show, that's the toughest part. Is I have the show, you know, that's the weekend. But you know, up here in the north, you used to have, you know, Cushman used to go down and, you know, take Teddy with him, took Larry, you know, one year. You don't have that so much, but.
And Larry's going back this year.
Is Larry going back?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Him and Scott Lamb.
Yep. In the pickup truck.
In the pickup truck, but.
And who else? I heard somebody else was going.
Well, Derek Griffith's going. He was the Rookie of the Year from the Granite State Pro Stock Series.
Him and Louie.
Looking for big things in year
Him and Big Louie, I should say.
Big Louie, yeah. We had Mini Louie and Biggie Louie, but. You know, they're looking to, you know, Derek ran real well last year on that series, and that series made some changes this year. They're going to some different venues, and I think they're going to, you know.
I think him going there, being a young kid, and doing it as well as he did.
Yeah.
And I think Louis recognizes this, obviously. I think him going to New Smyrna with the talent and how tough it is, that even if he doesn't do really well, which he might, who knows, but even if he doesn't do really well, it'll be a really good learning thing for him.
Well, the nice part about Smyrna is you have 9 nights of racing.
Right.
So when we think of 9 nights of racing around here, that's half a season.
Right.
Over half a season at Beach Ridge and stuff like that. But you're doing it, and I think they run 8 out of the 9 nights. You know, so you can gauge your improvement each night. You know, not only in practice, but qualifying, and then how you run the feature, and you find yourself. And this is what I tell these young kids, you know, at every level, there's field fillers, there's guys that are competitive, and then there's your front runners. I break a field up into 3 categories. Yep. You need to, run with the field fillers. Be a field filler first, and be that guy that's running in the back third of the pack. Now you find yourself running at the front of that field filler group. You're ready for the next step. You've improved. Now you find yourself racing with the guys that are competitive. So now you're in that 7th to 15th range.
Right.
Now we're running in this group. And then you're ready to, when you run at the front of that, then you can run in the group that can win races.
Right.
And that's, but you get the chance to do that over a week, not a year.
Right. Somebody like, and that's where it's good for somebody like, Derek Griffin, is to jump, he could be into the field filler material the first night and go out there and instantly be in the front half of that pack.
Yep.
And say, okay, so night 2 or 3, I need to try to make my next jump or whatever. And who knows? Who knows? He could go out there. And you never know.
They're bringing good stuff.
Yeah,
Louis is a former Speed Weeks champion down there in New Smyrna. So
you never know in racing. And the other one I heard that was going to be down there was Ryan Moore. And I think Mikey Fowler's going down to help.
Yeah,
him.
probably. And usually Tapley goes down in spots. And so there is some northeast connection. Maybe not. I mean, other than Larry being right here from Scarborough.
Right.
There is some connection going down there.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody wants to throw Larry some gas money, I don't think he'd push it away.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because I mean, you think about what you spend every week going to the racetracks. Now you're spending that every day.
And I don't know the whole details, and I kind of talked to Scott, you know, half-heartedly about it a little bit. But I think he was telling me they're taking 2 cars because he's driving one for some other guy and some. I don't
Probably,
know.
you know, Larry's always got something going on.
Right.
You know, if there's a car under him, he'll be competitive.
You know, I've known Larry a long time, and I like Larry, and I know what I saw back in the day, but and tell me if I'm talking out my butthole here, but is it me or does Larry remind you of like Jeff Stevens? You know,
just shows up to race.
Right.
Nothing fancy.
That's it.
You know, nothing fancy.
Right.
Just wants to get the job done, and at the end of the day, wants to take the hardware and take some money home and get ready for next week. Nothing fancy. No glim, no glare.
Right.
You know.
And race anything.
Yeah.
And go
race
anywhere.
anything. So you know, the season's getting close.
There's a reason that he made the top 25 list.
Yeah. No, exactly right. You're exactly right. So the season's getting close. You know, not much going on winter-wise material. I mean, the weather's been crazy. We lost a lot of snow. I want to talk about the one-lunger a little bit later in the show. And, you know,
I'm bummed about the snow.
Oh, I know it.
We had our track at the house at the race shop all groomed.
Gone.
It's gone, but I'm kind of hoping that this cold weather, because it will help out, and I hope we get like one more dumping on, because we had the track all plotted out, and with all the rain and stuff we got, like all the low spots filled in with water, and it was glass, and if it freezes over and then we get some snow on top of it,
really,
how do you think that's gonna go?
Oh, you wreck some equipment. No, it'll be good. But we got a good show planned today, and one of the things we're going to do a phone interview with Brian Hannaford, and Brian's been working on a program. He's very passionate about it. It's called Accessible Racing, and Brian's put this deal together and worked very hard over the last few years, you know, with people trying to step up and help him out for, you know, reaching out for veterans or people with disabilities that, you know, whether it's loss of limbs or, you know, paralyzed, and but putting a race car together and giving them the opportunity to test. You know, I compare it to the Richard Petty driving school.
Right.
You know, a guy like me gets to go to Richard Petty. Never going to go race at Charlotte or Rockingham or anywhere, but I get a chance for a day. Well, he's done it and given these guys a chance, because let's face it, you know, you can't take, you know, somebody that has, you know, their knees amputated at you know, below the knee, their legs, and put them in a car and, you know, they have no use of the pedals or, you know, so he's done so much with the program, and you know, we're going to talk to him about, you know, what got him to this point, and probably one of the highlights was when they were able to take Shane Meal, who was a promising driver, you know, son of Steve Meal, that got you know, seriously hurt in a midget wreck a few years ago, paralyzed, and they took him to Rockingham, and his first time back in a race car in, like, you know, I think 2.5 years or, you know, close to 3 years, and, you know, to see, you know, and hear from Shane and you know, Brian and the program all coming together, it's just amazing that, you know, and my hat's off to Brian for what he's done for it, and to be able to, you know, look out for, you know, others that just wouldn't have that opportunity to sit behind the wheel of a race car for a day, because it's just a, you know, experience that, you know, people that have been affected, you know, by something can feel in the thrill. So we're gonna take a break. We come back, we'll get Brian on the phone, and we'll hear a little bit more from him, and then we'll come back after that, and we'll hear from Shane and see the piece from down at Rockingham.
0% financing for the first time in history on select certified pre-owned vehicles at Southern Maine Motors. Southern Maine Motors is selling so many new Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeeps that they are overloaded with great trade-ins. Now with live market vehicle pre-owned pricing gathered by electronically polling over 20,000 pre-owned car websites every hour, they will show you their competitor's closest vehicle and price. Proof that you are getting the fairest deal out there. Visit them on Route 1 in Saco or online at southernmainmotors.com.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs. Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Award Champs, rewarding your champions, the official supplier of Mainley Motorsports TV.
To Mainley Motorsports, and on the phone now I have a gentleman by the name of Brian Hannaford, and some people might recognize the name, some don't, but Brian has got a program going on. We're going to let him share a little bit about it with you coming up. But Brian, I want to welcome you to Mainley Motorsports.
Hey, thanks a lot, Steve.
I appreciate you taking our call. And why don't you kind of introduce yourself to our audience and and talk about your involvement in motorsports over the years, and then we'll lead into what you got going on now.
Okay. Well, there's another Hannaford over there that's pretty good engine builder. Has those open wheel bugs there that they drive around. We're not related, but he's a hell of a nice guy. I know him through some stuff in Oxford and New England Racing Hall of Fame. My father was inducted in the same class that Bob Bear and Tom Curley were inducted into the Hall of Fame with, and Dion, he was already inducted, and he was part of our group with this successful racing from the get-go. He and Stubby Fadden. Racing's been a family deal for a long time with us, and, Dion told me that when he and Stubby were talking about their fierce competitors on the track, but they got to the side one time. It was on Stubby's birthday, and we were having a driving experience, and they were talking about why they got involved. And Stubby said that, from the beginning, it was basically out of respect for my father, and with Dave, it was out of respect for, what we were trying to do for vets and people with disabilities.
Yeah, and it is a great program, and you led us into the next question, which is to talk about accessible racing up to this point. How did you come up with the idea of it, and take us through the beginning stages to where you are now in the beginning of 2013?
Well, it started out, I had a couple of partners, Todd Bernasconi and Chris Clark, and we had a driving school that was trying to keep pace with Petty and Baker and people like that had better funding and better contacts and name recognition, and so we tried to over deliver, and we had local regional drivers like Stubby and Dave and Billy Penfold and Eddie McDonald. We've had quite a number of them in the past. Ben Rowe helped out for a little bit. Paul Wolf was one of our instructors, and basically the turning point was when I went to New Hampshire International Speedway to do a fundraiser for the U.S. Army Recruiter Wives Association, and we promoted it during the first race fever night in Concord, and the second race on 9/11/01 it was prior to that. I think it was on a Tuesday. We were at the Speedway doing our fundraiser, and that's when the planes hit the towers, and Dave was back at the Dion Brothers shop getting the car ready because they had a race that weekend. And so we were really, kind of out there by ourselves doing our thing, and, the people's beepers started going off, and, it was just mayhem. Tommy Blanchett was a EMT at the time. Now he's a track operator, and Tommy came out with a television set because we didn't believe him. I thought he was smoking some left-handed cigarette or something, the way it was, and you know, he came out and he showed us the television, and then it all came together, and, you know, everybody kind of just, you know, after that event was done, we just kind of took a step back and just said, hey, there's things that are more important than racing. And, you know, my mentor, Dave Dion, said that he hoped that, you know, these vets that would come back, he said it's inevitable we're headed for conflict, and he just hoped that, you know, the vets coming back weren't going to come back with the same disrespect that him and his buddy Billy Russell and some of the other Vietnam vets came back to after Vietnam. And so the mission was to activate something that we've been talking about since we put Cam Shaw Duran, who was in a wheelchair, we put him in a car, and we said we were going to modify the car, and we never did, but we were at the point where there's either cut the car up or do something different with it for a point of difference. And, you know, we're at the right place, the right time, for the right reason with our concept, and nobody else has been able to catch up with what we're doing yet.
No, and it's a great concept, and you know it's you know, we always hear people wanting to give back in the sport or in any, and then just generally in life, and you know, usually that a lot of that comes with the younger generation. You want to give back to the kids, you know, and do for the kids and the ones that aren't less fortunate. You know, you've taken it a step further. You're going, you know, kind of older school, and you know, obviously the concept started with the vets and veterans, but now, you know, and what people will see in our next segment, you know, with Shane Meal, you know, being able to do for the quadriplegics and some of those, it's just an amazing thing that you and your whole group of people, Brian, are doing.
Yeah, it is amazing, and it's not one person that's doing it. It's a team concept, and you know, like I got back from Rockingham, and my father was still cleaning his garage. It took him 3 days to clean the garage after we changed the motor and, you know, left tools lying around and, you know, burned up his electricity and fuel and, you know, all kinds of things like that. But, you know, when I get to Rockingham, and as you'll see in the film, if you keep an eye out, that was a magic moment for me and for a lot of other people, because there wasn't one person that was in charge that was making this happen. There was Dave Dion driving up from Florida. There was Scott Dean, who was a carpenter and a short track driver, taking 3 or 4 days off to go down to, you know, Rockingham. There was Paula Muth, who was from Indianapolis and friends with Tony Stewart's father. She flew in. You know, Lisa Meal, I connected with her through a tweet. Steve Pruitt, who owns a television station. But the thing was, you know, we all had different characters and different personalities, and we all came together, and we all, you know, took a step up and did the best we could to make the best possible event. And I think a perfect example would be, you know, we overcame every obstacle there was. We get down there, we're in North Carolina, it's freezing rain. We get to the track, there's a sheet of ice on the track. The sun comes out. You know, the track gets pretty much dry, but there was ice on the safer barriers, so the jet dryers had to go out, because when that ice was melting out the safer barriers that was coming down across the track, so Hillenberg broke out his jet dryers, dried the track for us, never charged us. He had those things going for 2.5 hours. And, you know, the final product that you'll see on this television, on this video clip, is the result of everybody having their hands involved with this. And, you know, that was the magic moment for me, because I was the architect, but it's like having a building go up. If your plumbers don't do their job, and your electricians don't do their job, and your drywallers don't do their job, then the tenants can't move in.
Yeah, no, and, you're exactly right, Brian. And you know, I'm excited for our viewers to be able to see this clip. And real short, before we do take a break, what do you hope to accomplish now in the future? You've got to this, like you said, the magic point, and you know, it was like the pinnacle right there of, you know, making it to Rockingham. But what do you see in the future for yourself and accessible racing?
Well, at this event, I'm pretty, you know, I've been doing the same thing, making the same mistakes for about 10 years now. And so one thing I did at this event was set myself up for the next event. And, some of the things we had down there was we had some movie producers from the movie Adrenaline that's going to be coming out. They want to incorporate our whole operation into their film. So they were there. There was Fat Tech Technologies that's developed a aluminum cylinder head for diesel engines. They want a couple drag trucks. We're talking about a program where we'll have diesel drag trucks and have something along the lines of the movie Spellbound, where we'll qualify. We'll have 50 invitations regionally per event. There'll be 30 events throughout the year, 8 different regional championships, and then a Super Bowl type format. And everybody will get to do their runs and eliminations and all that in these trucks. And we'll be at the SEMA show and the PRI show, and we're really looking at knocking some big stuff out. We've got some investors that they could obviously see, okay, well, I could fit in here. I could help them with more motors or more cars or that type of thing. And what we're trying to do, the ultimate plan, is to create an insurance umbrella. And that guy was down there too, Davis Insurance from Ohio, where these disabled sports will be able to operate under one umbrella. And whether it be drag racing or kart racing or, oval track, road course, or maybe it's snowmobiling or jet skiing or 4x4, it's going to be a buffet style deal where regional groups like Disabled Sports USA have set up will be able to participate and get their insurance into driver training, so these people with disabilities will be able to go out and help reintegrate back into society and get some enjoyment after they hit that plateau that everybody naturally hits after an injury, where they get the house back and they get the wife back. And it's like everything, everybody can identify with that. You get to a plateau and you just kind of flatline. Well, this is going to open up all kinds of other opportunities for these people.
Oh yeah, no, and it's great, and like you said, the opportunities that they wouldn't have. There's no doubt about it. They wouldn't have these opportunities. So we're going to take a commercial break, Brian. We come back. We're going to show the video that you put together from down at Rockingham with Shane Meal, with yourself, and some of the other people that helped out. So I really appreciate you taking the time with us here at Mainley Motorsports, and keep us up to date on what you got going on and some of the things to expect in the future, and we can pass on to our viewers, and maybe we'll catch up with you halfway through the summer and see where accessible racing is at that point in 2013.
Absolutely, and you do some good stuff also, Steve. I've kept you on the radar and watch what you're doing, and we'd love to link to your website, have you link to ours, so that your viewers know where to find you, and if they're looking for us, it would be an easy find if we can do something like that. But we've got big plans, but the thing is, we don't want to forget where we came from, and we're never gonna.
Yeah, and that's the key. So once again, Brian, thank you for taking the time with us here on Mainley Motorsports, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the piece with Accessible Racing and Shane Meal.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, 2 of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Under the bright lights of your playing field, one performer continues to shine. The Fisher Extreme V. With durable X-bracing, the Extreme V carries the load. With precision passes, the power to bust through, the maximum protection of the Fisher Trip Edge, and the brightest lights available. Fisher, your business, our passion. See Weir's Motor Sales Incorporated in Arundel.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Well, 2.5 years ago, I got injured in a racing wreck. I was told I wasn't going to walk again. I wasn't going to live off a vent again. I was told I wasn't going to feed myself again. I was told I wasn't going to lean over. I was told I wasn't going to ride a bike. I was told I wasn't going to swim. I've done 90% of that, and then you know what? I'm about to drive a race car. Check it out.
Oh, man,
I don't remember anything of that day. Last thing I remember before I got injured was leaving McDonald's from testing all day at Toledo. That was on Tuesday. My first memory is waking up in an airplane flying from Indianapolis to Georgia to go to Shepherd's. And I remember waking up and seeing my mom being surrounded by nurses, and I was like, "Mom, what's wrong? What's the deal?" And she was like, "You're paralyzed temporarily," and she got all sad. And that was the first thing I remember, and I'm very, very thankful that I don't remember those 40 days before that. Going inside the rock, back in the day, said 100 times, big drivers, you know, that's where they come from the southeast, making their debut, was at Rockingham. And I'm a kid that come from the southeast racing, and I'm making my debut at Rockingham as a quadriplegic. I raced my first little go-kart road course race right there. Remember that back in the day? I get tweets all the time. "Hey Shane, ready to see you get back in race cars. It's about that time," you know what I mean? They'll tweet, you know, "I see you're getting stronger. It's about that time," you know. And I had no clue that there was something. I mean, what Ryan Hannaford and the guys at Successful Racing have done and built the way they built that car and had it all tricked out to where someone that's as injured as me could drive it. And I can't believe how awesome they've all done building this car to get us right in and out. I mean, it took my guys a minute or two to get me in. This car is amazing. First time to see it. Brian and everybody here has done an awesome job.
Well, we laughed when he left home that it couldn't be as bad as last time. I'm not really sure. We'll see here in a few minutes. I'm very emotional, but I want him to do it.
I am so lucky to get to do this. I'm so lucky to get to meet all the people. Brian, everybody with Accessible Racing, all the guys with Racing for Vets, the vets, 3 Wide Life, just all of y'all do so much for how I feel when I wake up in the morning, and that means a lot. It's like the feeling that I have down my back and the way everything sits and lays has to be perfect or feel comfortable, or I'm way uncomfortable.
Right.
And I felt really good. It might have just been because I was in a race car, but.
Yeah.
Well, what'd you think about it?
It was a lot of fun. It was pretty intense.
Did you go faster than you thought you would?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hearing that car coming up. My adrenaline's going. It's time for me to roll. Here we go. How about that?
That was cool.
Shit. That was fun.
That was fun.
Awesome. Oh my
Well, did it feel good on that banker, huh?
Ah, golly. I went way faster than I thought I was going to go.
Had a good time. It was a wonderful experience. Thanks to everybody who helped put it on. I hope it does a lot for the vets. I think the veterans would really enjoy driving race cars. And it was just one of those nice Saturday afternoons at Rockingham like we used to have. It never surprised me what Three Wide Life and all his friends come up with. Every time you think he's reached a plateau, that something else happens or it gives you a little more hope that maybe he's still continuing on his recovery. And this was definitely a good day for that.
It's hard to put words to it. It's just something that is a feeling. I know from a personal experience, I was a junior Olympic mile champion and I got in a car accident. Temporarily paralyzed, had a traumatic brain injury and came back from that. With Shane, you know, he's the type of person we want as a face on Accessible Racing, to go out and show people that there's life after injury. You know, you just got to learn to do things a little different. And this is a prime example of it, you know, where people can just, you know, they can break barriers and create opportunities and share that message. And maybe it wasn't his purpose to be a cup champion or something like that, but the people's lives that he'll affect by showing what he was able to accomplish just by, you know, some faith and some hard work and a lot of rehabilitation. You know, that's the message that somebody who's newly injured needs to hear. So it's not so much making a mental list of things they can't do any longer. This is something to add to the other side.
I just drove a race car that I gotta say hats off to the guys for building that car to where it's so easy for someone like me that's as injured as me. I mean, look at me right now. You see how injured I am. I just ran well over 100 miles an hour, average speed, on a 1 mile speedway at Rockingham. I think pretty amazing. I mean, people at Accessible Racing to build a car and put something together and programs like this together for people like me and other veterans, you know, wounded vets. How do you even think of making something for, you know, that great for other people without having that great of a mind? And that's, you know, I gotta say that to Brian, you know, that been Brian's idea of building this car and all, and thanks a lot for that, because you know what, my 2013 started off pretty good right now. Well, this has been my day. It's been more exciting for me than I bet for y'all, even though this is a good show. But I got to thank Racing for Vets, and can't forget Accessible Racing, because those guys have done an amazing job getting a race car like that built, And let's get them all around the country so we can talk to more vets and get more veterans and more disabled people in those race cars. Successful racing.
Welcome to Mainley Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainley Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. Most people know us for our RV sales and service. We're also Maine's largest trailer dealer. With over $1 million in stock and online at scottsrecreation.com. From 2-place opens to 5-place enclosed and everything in between. Our showrooms are stuffed with used snowmobiles, new jackets, bibs, pants, gloves, boots and helmets, plugs, belts, oil, and more. We're ready for winter. Are you?
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your main returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by...
Looking for a great time, great people, and great food? Then visit New England's #1 biker destination, Bentley Saloon, located on Route 1 in Arundel. See why Bentley says, who has more fun than us? We do.
Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership, Route 1 Saco.
Well, the old Turner Ridge Runners, I don't know, Greg. I mean, we're all excited and there ain't no snow.
I know. It's
So,
horrible.
I mean, I'm not saying there is no snow to go, but...
You never know with the Turner Ridge Runners, you know.
No, they
who
got
knows? They could get some dump trucks full of snow from a
They're
ski
talking,
resort.
so we'll keep you posted, and you
Yeah.
know, obviously follow along on their Facebook page, their website, you know, but and we'll keep you updated on ours. I mean, I'm still working
Yeah.
on getting a sled together. You got yours all together. I mean, and I hearing from a few other beef eaters that you know
They got something
they're
lined
ready to
up.
go. You know, so you know maybe we'll just have to.
I was talking to my sled owner, and I suggested some heavy-duty springs.
Maybe I'll have to look at the pit. Maybe we got some snow down there we can pile up. You know, make our own little
fat guy race around the pit.
We'll call it the Fat Guys 5. You know, not the Fat Guys 500. The Fat Guys 5. You know, 5 laps and that's it. You know?
5 laps and 5 hot dogs from Chicago
Yep,
Dogs.
There you go, baby. So no, so like I said, we'll keep you posted and hope that I hope they get dumped on. You know, for
Yeah.
you know, for not only them, but you know, there's people you know out there relying on snow. You know, the guys plowing the
Our
snow.
little fiasco that we were going to do, we can't do it right now.
Yeah, we need snow. So, you know, your little racetrack out there at Naughty 40
Right.
race pasture. So, you know, we'll keep you posted on that. And, you know, I don't know. That's all I can say. We got no snow, so I don't know if it's a go.
Right.
So we're going to take a break. We come back, talk about racing preview.
0% financing for the first time in history on select certified pre-owned vehicles at Southern Maine Motors. Southern Maine Motors is selling so many new Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeeps that they are overloaded with great trade-ins. Now with live market vehicle pre-owned pricing gathered by electronically polling over 20,000 pre-owned car websites every hour, they will show you their competitors' closest vehicle and price. Proof that you are getting the fairest deal out there. Visit them on Route 1 in Saco or online at southernmainmotors.com.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, two of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal, Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea, and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. Most people know us for our RV sales and service. We're also Maine's largest trailer dealer. With over $1 million in stock and online at scottsrecreation.com. From 2-place opens to 5-place enclosed and everything in between. Our showrooms are stuffed with used snowmobiles, new jackets, bibs, pants, gloves, boots and helmets, plugs, belts, oil, and more. We're ready for winter. Are you?
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by Award Champs, rewarding your champions, the official supplier of Mainley Motorsports TV.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
February 22nd and 23rd. I mean, I know it's 500 weekend, but still, race and preview. I mean, I'm excited this year. Last year, kind of.
You know what's great about Race and Preview is it's like the Northeast Motorsports Expo. It's motorsports. And you would, you own both shows now, so you would put people from different forms of motorsports into the Racing Expo also. Yeah. But the Racing Expo is basically a circle track type show, local circle tracks and stuff like that.
Although this year we are going to see a little more go-kart stuff, a little bit of lawnmower stuff,
right,
and some motocross stuff.
Right.
So we are seeing that little branch out.
So, but the fact that it's more of a circle track show, and the fact that the Northeast Motorsports Expo isn't just a circle track show, that limits how many actual race cars you can put into the Northeast Motorsports Expo.
We pack them.
Now the Racing Expo in the Portland area, that one is, you're gonna go to Beech Ridge's booth, and how many cars did Beech Ridge, just using it for an example, how many did they have at the Northeast Motorsports Expo? Six. How many they got lined up for the Portland
At least
Expo?
16.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like their hub.
Right.
You know, it's like when you go to an airport, it's a JetBlue hub, American. That's Beech Ridge's hub. It's in their backyard.
Right.
They're the ones that are bringing the crowd in there. So really excited. I think we got some new sponsors on board. Going to have some new vendors there. So, last year was kind of, me and Marco did it together, and it was just one of those things. Well, this year now we're trying to breathe a little life into it. It's tough because you don't have the space up there to be able to do the seminars and
and you don't have the control like you do at Augusta because of the basically the expo's owned by the city of Portland.
Well, I got the control, but it's just you don't have the upper balcony to be able to do a pit stop challenge. I wanted to do it in the worst way, but it's something me and them are going to discuss this year. Is what can we do to make that happen next year?
Right.
I know parking's an issue there, but hopefully each year we try to do a little better and work things out. And I mean, I'm thinking down the road with what my plans are with this show. So I just I'm going to keep it going, put a good product out there. I know Bear Ridge is coming back. I've heard from obviously the Nelcar guys. Star is they've upped up. I mean, they brought a great display to.
The Northeast
Motorsports Expo, and they're coming to, and Joe the Show Squealia, my favorite outlaw is coming to, coming there, and so it should be a good show, but obviously,
it's like I've said before, it's like the Northeast Motorsports Expo, everybody kind of mingles or whatever, but at the Portland Expo, it's everybody hanging out, chatting,
and
this and that.
For the people traveling, coming from, or even. Yourself out in Sebago Lake or Leamington or whatever. You don't want to drive home after Friday night and drive back in. The Clarion Hotel, which is just up the street, is working with us. And if you call up and you tell them you want race and preview room rate, it's like $69 for a room. You know what I mean? They got a buffet breakfast in the morning you can pay for. I mean, they have a lounge at night. So it's really a good deal. So, you can get a hold of the Clarion Hotel. You can go online and look them up. Or you can give them a call at 774-5611. And book your room under Race and Preview. They got some rooms set aside, so should be a good time. We had a bunch of people stay last year and trying to work with the community now, similar to what we do at Augusta.
That's it's definitely going to be a lot better.
Yeah, and we're going to have some posters made, start doing some promotion around it, and try to attract some fans into the the Portland Expo on February 22nd, Friday night. The hours are 4 to 10, and Saturday 9 to 9. So it should be a great time. Looking forward to it.
Sunday is
500 somewhere. Hopefully, I'll get invited to maybe I'll get invited to a fight. Anybody want me and Greg to come over? But here's the rules: you can't talk, right? Because your new nickname, right? Can I call you that now?
No.
Why? Why? Because you took a beating, didn't you? You had some people come out of the woodwork and started calling you sissy. Oh, did I say that loud? Sorry. But you're much better today. Even somebody watched the show, made a comment on our Facebook page that, boy, Greg was grumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you grumpy?
I kind of was.
Okay. So it's...
I was turning older. I'm getting old.
Well, how old are you?
I'm not telling.
Mine's coming up.
When's your birthday?
It's coming up.
Well, when is it?
I'm not a big birthday guy. I don't need the cakes and candles.
I don't either. I just like to be recognized.
Oh, it's my birthday.
Listen.
Oh, it's my birthday.
Listen.
I'm surprised you didn't come with your party hat on.
Listen.
What?
This is totally retarded. And I know it's totally retarded, but it just whatever. It's something I do every year. Since Facebook has been around. You know how Facebook will tell you how many, it'll say how many notifications you've got or whatever or something like that. So it tells you this person mentioned on your wall, this person mentioned on your wall.
So how many did you get?
On your birthday.
How many did you get?
Whatever. I know it's totally retarded. I try to see if I beat the year before.
Did you beat last year's?
I smolded last year.
So how many did you get?
Last year I got 95.
Yeah.
Happy birthdays.
Okay.
This year I got 188.
So all I had to do is get 189?
Well, you'll get 189. You know more people.
Well, why do you think
you schmooze with more people?
Why do you think you about doubled your production?
I did.
Why do you think?
Mainley Motorsports.
Exactly. So if I keep you around for another year.
We've been hearing this since day one.
Well, no, I'm honest. I'm looking. I'm not lying to you. I mean, we're looking. We'll always have a pot for you, but I'm looking. Looking for your replacement. Don't get your feelings hurt, sissy. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on Mainley Motorsports.
Hey, I'm Kyle Busch, and when I'm in Maine, I watch Mainley Motorsports.
Under the bright lights of your playing field, one performer continues to shine. The Fisher Extreme V. With durable X-bracing, the Extreme V carries the load. With precision passes, the power to bust through, the maximum protection of the Fisher Trip Edge, and the brightest lights available. Fisher, your business, our passion. See Weir's Motor Sales Incorporated in Arundel.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I don't know exactly, but Austin Terrio traveled south. Well, I shouldn't say travel because he is south now. He works full-time for Brad Kozlowski Racing, but had his first race of the year in the number 29 over there at Watermelon Speedway for Speed Fest. And, with all reports and everything you read and everything you heard, he had a car capable of winning.
Yeah, and so did about 5 other guys. But
who won it?
Huh?
Who won it? My pick from the Derby.
Yeah, Jeff Chiquette.
Jeff Chiquette. So.
Did you were in Florida. You didn't. I was going to say, I listened to because you can listen live on Speed51 sometimes for certain races or whatever. So I listened live and I was listening to it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because they were just like taking each other out.
Taking each other out. And Austin.
And he became a victim of certain.
Yeah, somebody else's trouble. So great way to kick off his 2013.
Even after that happened, he came from the back and got back to like 6th or 8th or something like that. With like 15 to go and was charging, or no, it was like 20 or 30 to go, and started slowing down, rolling around with his hand out the window, and they're talking about it on the radio and stuff. And obviously we haven't talked to anybody who actually knows, but the reports that they were saying was that his throttle was sticking or whatever. So when they got the next caution, he'd come in and they played around because the throttle linkage was hanging up on the airbox.
The spring, I guess, had broke or something. Yeah. So. But great job. I think this is the year that it all comes together for him. Yeah. And he's down there. He's in the face of the people now.
Right. And he like I said, he charged to the front. He started, 16th or so, got up to the front. He was battling Eric Jones, who won
the Derby. Yeah,
the Derby. He was battling Chicat. He was battling
Chase Elliott, Reagan. And the thing is, you're going to get plenty of opportunities. He's got some past races penciled in on his schedule for up here in the Northeast,
Austin.
So he'll be around.
The one thing I will say about that race, and like I said, I don't know what, and I don't know if everybody had a couple months off so they got some cabin fever or what, but it was like 3.5 hours to run that race.
Yeah, I'd have died.
I was like sitting there listening, and I'm like, I had to go plug, because I was listening on my phone, set of earphones in, and I had to go plug my phone into the charger, because I was like, oh my
I'm going
God.
dead. All right, we'll take a break. We come back, we'll wrap up this week's episode of Mainley Motorsports.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Gary Hotels, located in Brunswick, Freeport, Waterville, and Augusta, the official hotel of Mainley Motorsports. Clark's Car Crushing, providing guaranteed honest weights with top dollar being paid.
Well, if you wanted to see some racing this past weekend, you could have traveled to Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And remember, you tried to go last year. And,
whatever.
And the gambling, not the gambling capital of the world, but it ain't far behind it. But the TQ Midgets and the Champ Cats down there, DJ Shaw, Steph and Betty up here, and I don't, obviously we don't know the results yet. We tape the show before they run their feature, but that's their third one of the year. They ran Baltimore, and DJ actually won Baltimore, and then they ran Providence, and we got some pictures here from the TQ Midgets as well as the Champ Cats from Providence, and you want to see something wild. You want to see these guys run indoors.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody tells me I need to put something on like that up here in Maine, and there's not a venue for it.
Right.
It's wild. I mean, you take the Champ Cats is one thing, but then you put these TQ Midgets in there, guys like Ted Christopher and Stefanik and all that. I mean, it's the craziest thing you'll ever see.
Talk about the bump and run, right?
Yeah, it's the craziest thing you'll ever see. So, hopefully DJ and Stefan did all right. Maybe bring some more hardware back here to the Northeast. So, hope you all enjoyed this week's episode of, Mainly Motorsports and what Brian Hannaford's done, and, the Shane Meal piece. And, don't forget Racing Preview, February 22nd and 23rd. Come say hi to Sissy. So, we'll see you next week right here on Mainly Motorsports.